Nestled in the heart of Washington, D.C., lies a historic site that played a vital role in the lives of millions. If you were to pass by today, you would see 25 acres that has been left to the mercy of nature. But what many people don't know is that this is a highly contested space that the community has been trying to protect from unsustainable development for many years. This place that I speak of is the McMillan Sand Filtration Site. In the spring of 2021, my studio presented us with a scenario where we were to design housing for Howard University students, and we were to do so on a portion of the McMillan site and in the context of the future McMillan plan. Now, this was in the middle of the pandemic, so we were to think about how to design from a public health standpoint, and we were also exploring various housing typologies. So I became particularly interested in micro-housing and how it could be used to keep you quarantined, but also maybe arranged in an innovative way that still fosters social engagement. A number of ideas influenced my design, but what I want to focus on is the aspect of preservation, the preservation of history, of green space, and the character of the neighborhood, which drove my design approach. In 1903, this site opened as the first large-scale water facility in DC. It used sand to filter water, a process that happened in these huge underground catacombs. Workers would shovel sand into the cells of manholes, which also provided light and ventilation for them while they were working underground. I was inspired by how light and air could be used to evoke remembrance of the site's underground catacombs. I experimented with how varying qualities of natural light and ventilation could be introduced within the unit so that through design, the story of this very interesting infrastructure could start to unfold.
Whatever we build should reflect the diverse needs and wants of the folks in the community and should be consistent with the character of the things that already exist right here in our beautiful community.
And that's exactly what this design tries to do. Through the heterogeneity of the facades, the playfulness of the chambers on top, and the unit's relationship to each other that resemble row homes. Now, this project is also an extension of Howard's campus, and that is reflected in the color and the material choice. In 1911, a few years after its opening, the architect cleverly concealed that underground water purification facility with a public park at grade for the surrounding community to enjoy. However, that changed during World War II when the U.S. Army built up a fence surrounding the property and restricted public access. Today, the district owns the land and remains open for development.
It is a historic site. They do not respect the history of the site. They do not preserve any of the historic features. There is very little open and green space.
Even though we're put in the position of developing this property, I wanted to respect the community concerns as best as I could. So you'll see in the plan there's ample green space, there's plazas, there's a distinct porosity that allows for pedestrian movement throughout the space. And in elevation, it feels human scale. There's not 8-story buildings or obstructing views, and it feels very much village-like. And not only is there this green space at grade, but my favorite part of the project are the shared rooftop spaces that provide a more intimate green space for students to gather and socialize. This move pays homage to the Yard at Howard University. The Yard at Howard and many other HBCUs is the prominent gathering and social scene for students. And I imagine in my housing design, students to transform those exterior rooftop green spaces and really make them their own. I'm really an artist and a creative at heart, and I'm always looking for new ways to express myself, whether that be through fashion, photography, modeling, collaging. And I think what's beautiful is my interest in these other areas really strengthens my design thinking. And I think that's a really good thing that I would bring to Gensler, a unique and innovative perspective to the design process, and kind of going back to what I said earlier, an awareness about social issues and then solutions that would help heal and empower communities.